据白宫消息，特朗普近日呼吁普京与泽连斯基尽快谈判，结束这场已造成数百万人伤亡的战争。此外，还批评拜登政府对乌克兰问题的处理失败。他指出，美国已投入3000亿美元援助，远超欧洲的1000亿，且欧洲以贷款形式提供资金，而美国基本是无偿赠送。特朗普强调，美国的投入需得到回报。
You called President Zelensky of Ukraine a dictator. Do you think that President Putin of Russia is also a dictator?
I think that President Putin and President Zelensky are going to have to get together because you know what? We want to stop killing millions of people. You have young soldiers being killed. If you saw the pictures that I saw of the battlefield from satellite, you've never seen any pictures like that. Soldiers are being killed by the thousands a week, thousands of soldiers a week. As we speak, they're being killed. That's why I want to see a ceasefire and I want to get the deal done. I think we have a chance to get the deal done. I had to make sure that Russia wanted to do it. It's a war that would have never happened if I was president, but it did happen. So I got stuck with it, and I want to stop people from being killed. You know, it doesn't affect the United States very much. It's on the other side of the ocean. It does affect Europe. And we've put in 3 times more money. We're in for 300 billion, they're in for 100 billion. And you know, Europe is also doing it in the form of a loan. Biden just gave them money. There was no loan, there was no security, there was no anything. So we're going to either sign a deal or there's going to be a lot of problems with them. So we're going to sign a deal to get security because we have to do that. We're spending our treasure. They're spending their blood, they are. And they're very brave and you know, in every way you can imagine. But we are spending our treasure on a country that's very, very far away. And it's okay, but we have to be treated the same as Europe is being treated. Europe gets their money back. Europe is basically giving nothing because they get it back in the form of a loan, and it's a guaranteed loan. We don't get our money back, and we're losing. I mean, we don't want to do that anymore. So we're signing an agreement, hopefully in the next fairly short period of time, that will assure us that we'll get $400 or $500 billion back. We're in there for 300 billion. Now, one other thing, Europe is at 100, we're at 300. We think it has to equalize. In other words, they have to come up with more money because it has a big effect in Europe. It doesn't have much of an effect on us because we have a big, beautiful ocean in between. But it does affect, and Biden should have never gotten us into this mess. We had an incompetent president who got us into a mess. But we're going to get you out of it. The same thing in the Middle East. We're going to have some good news in the Middle East. What happened yesterday, the sight of those babies was not acceptable to anybody. Nobody's seen anything like it. So we get our money back. This should have been signed long before we went in. This should have been signed by Biden. But Biden didn't know too much about what he was doing. The war should have never happened, number one. When it did happen, it could have been settled the first week or 2 weeks. After that, it got bad. It got really bad, but it should have never happened, and it should have been settled, and it could have been settled very easily at the beginning. Now it's tougher, but we'll get it settled.